Who wants to be battling with themselves all day? Not me. The trick is to let go of the stress. Hello, I'm William Bullock, your stress management mentor. Welcome to Stress Management 101, Tips, Techniques and Affirmations. Today I'll discuss what stress is and guide you through some really simple techniques you can use today to help you to deal with stress and tension, wherever you are. What is stress? The Oxford English Dictionary defines stress as, amongst other things, a demand on physical or mental energy, and then distress caused by this, that is, suffering from stress. It's a simple explanation for a very complex thing. There are many kinds of stress and many different ways to handle it, different ways to relax. During the course of these videos, we'll touch on a vast variety of these options. Interestingly, there are some really simple techniques you can start today on your path to physical and mental stress management. So you certainly don't need to get stressed about relaxing. It's surprisingly easy if you put in some effort and you know what to do. So let's do a quick relax right now. Just get comfortable in your chair and follow along with me as we do a little experiment. First of all, I'd like you to just take a nice big deep breath. Breathe in. Aim to really fill your lungs and then really relax as you exhale. Very good. Now do another one. Same thing. Hold it for a moment and really relax as you exhale. And then a third deep breath. Hold it and really relax. That's the way. And then just breathe normally. There you go. A lesson in physical and mental stress management. It may seem as if you just took 3 deep breaths, but a lot just happened. Let's break some of that down. Firstly, you probably inhaled more deeply than you have all day. You filled your lungs with oxygen, which put O2 into your bloodstream, and then your heart was able to pump it into your brain and through the rest of your body more readily. When you inhaled deeply like that, you also pulled your diaphragm down, and this helped you expand your lungs. This also gave your heart a little more room to move, so it wasn't working quite so hard. At the same time, your brain relaxed a little, slowing down the chatter because it was getting more oxygen. While concentrating on breathing like that, you also probably stopped thinking about your worries, at least for a moment or two, while you concentrated on taking the breaths. All of these things helped you to relax, even if only for a moment. Another thing that happened to help you relax is that by taking those big deep breaths, you expanded most of the muscles in your torso. Holding them like that for a moment and then relaxing, they all relaxed as you exhaled, which allows your whole body to relax. Too many people seem to think that dealing with stress and anxiety is a battle to be won. To me, that's a very negative way to think. Who wants to be battling with themselves all day? Not me. The trick is to let go of the stress. Whether it is physical or mental stress, let it go. That's what tension is, holding onto the stress. Holding it in doesn't help you in the slightest. Let it go and you can relax. Now, when most people start to get stressed, one of the first things they do is they start breathing less deeply. In fact, most of the time, most people are only breathing to about 1/3 of their lung capacity. That's okay under most normal circumstances, but no good at all when you're under stress. Consider how you feel when you get a fright. Instantly, your heart beats more rapidly, your breathing momentarily stops or becomes shallow and rapid, even if it is just for a moment. If it's just someone playing a joke on you, you might recover quite quickly. If the fear or threat continues, your body will likely kick into action very rapidly. And in extreme circumstances, it may go into a full-on fight, flight, or freeze mode, possibly to the point where the conscious you disappears altogether for a period of time. I'll be sharing a personal experience in a later episode where stress saved my life, and this exact thing happened. I have no memory of what happened for about 15 seconds. I'll also talk about the 3 Fs, fight, flight, and freeze, in a later episode. Imagine someone who's been abused, threatened, bullied, or ridiculed over an extended period of time. They might find that their body is nearly always in a state of heightened tension, and it becomes difficult to let go of the tension and the stress because they are always wound up, worrying, waiting for something horrible to happen. They feel anxious even when nothing is wrong. Have a look right now. Look around you. Look out the window. Look around your room. Ask yourself, what's wrong right now? Probably nothing, or you wouldn't be watching this. Worrying is a waste of energy because you are thinking about what you don't want. And often it's something you can't do anything about. Refocus your energy and thoughts on what you do want. This is a much better use of your thoughts and your ideas. And this will also lead to a greater feeling of mental and physical calm. It's important to remember that this is a psychosomatic mind-body process. It's not just about being physically stressed. There's usually a powerful psychological element as well. This can be related to the kinds of things I mentioned earlier, like bullying and etc. By spending a few moments every now and then practicing simple techniques like this, it'll begin to change your mind by helping you to strategically think, to think differently, more positively. And you can start changing all the aspects of your life dramatically. Sure, it takes work, but imagine how things would be different 6 months from now if you started thinking differently today and keep working on it. Practicing a little bit each day, improving each day. That is how you change your mind, because you become more calm and relaxed. If you stick to this plan, you'll probably find that it doesn't take anywhere near 6 months to start gaining real benefits. It will happen much faster. It's kind of like going to brain gym. You're working on helping your mind, your brain, to work better. You might even notice some changes by the end of this week or even today. Wouldn't that be great? And then you can update and modify the plan and be even better 6 months down the track, even better than you imagined. Sometimes our work situation puts us under a lot of stress. I've worked as a crew member making documentary movies at various times over the years, and sometimes I found myself working for what seems endless hours under intense pressure to perform. You can feel as if you just can't stop to rest and recuperate. You want to perform your job or task really well, but the more pressure that gets put on you, the more pressure you put on yourself. And the harder it gets to do the tasks well. A classic vicious circle. If you don't have techniques up your sleeve to help you, these kinds of extended pressures could lead to stress and even serious forms of anxiety. Even prompting you to quit a job that you love. What can we do about this? How can we create a virtuous circle? As mentioned earlier, one of the symptoms prevalent in stress is shallow breathing. This cuts down the amount of oxygen getting to the brain. This can mean you're not thinking clearly. To alleviate this, one of the things we need to do is to take at least a few slower, deeper breaths. If we're in a high stress situation, it can seem quite difficult to do this. If the adrenaline's kicking in intensely, it will likely override our conscious thinking, and we will just react to the situation without any real thought. In extreme cases, that will happen just to survive. But there are ways to manage it. Like anything worthwhile, you need to practice. You need to practice relaxing when you don't need it, so you have it when you do need it. Even in high stress situations. In fact, if you find yourself in these situations, it's vital to learn techniques like this. 3 deep breaths will make a difference, no matter where you are. At work, in front of your computer, in an important board meeting, resting between different machines at the gym, or just walking in the park or on the beach. So let's do it again now. Once again, breathe in, this time in through your mouth. Hold it and really relax as you exhale. Very good. Now a second deep breath. Hold it and really relax as you breathe out. And then a third deep breath. And really relax as you breathe out. Dealing with these high stress situations can take a bit of effort. The catch is that the stress can make it more difficult to do it. This is why it's necessary to practice relaxing when you don't need it, so you have it when you do need it. It's important to give yourself the space and time you need to practice. You do have to make the time to care for yourself. You've got to give yourself permission to do it and to realize that you deserve to do it. These are 2 really important words, permission and deserve. Giving permission to take care of themselves can be really difficult for some people. But if you don't take care of yourself, you can't effectively take care of anyone else or your tasks. And you can't expect that anyone else will take care of you either. So it's much better if you know how to do it yourself. Taking care of yourself by eating well, drinking plenty of water, doing sensible amounts of exercise. Exercise that works for you. Thinking positively and practicing your relaxation, your meditation or mindfulness. And that's a great place to start. The other important word is deserve. You deserve to take care of yourself like this, but only you can actually give yourself permission to do it. Don't make the mistake of thinking that learning stress management will help you to deal with stress if you only do it in a stressful situation. It's important that you practice when you don't need it, and then you have it when you do need it. I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself over and over again, but that's what you've got to do. Over the years, I've taught a lot of people relaxation exercises, and occasionally I've had people say something like, "Oh, I don't have time to relax." My response is always, you don't have time not to relax. If you've watched this far, you certainly have the time to relax. And as you get better at it, you'll find it gets easier and easier, and you become more and more relaxed, even in previously difficult situations. The most important thing about relaxing is having practiced enough so that when a stress situation does arise, you think, oh, I know what to do. I'll just relax for a minute or two. I promise you that if you give yourself that time, even when you are busy, it will help you to handle the situation better. Even if you can't stop what's happening, you can always take your 3 deep breaths. You can be sitting in front of a computer, you can be walking down the street. As I say, to achieve anything worthwhile, you need to practice when you don't need it, so you have it when you do need it. Sometimes you might be really busy and someone calls you on the phone and you have a conversation with them, even though you're busy. Practicing these techniques is like having a phone conversation with yourself and doing it just a few times a day, maybe 3 or 4 times a day. 3 deep breaths will make all the difference, no matter where you are. Let's do it again now. Breathe in, hold it, and really relax as you exhale. Good. Now a second deep breath. And this time as you breathe out, say to yourself in your mind, I am calm and relaxed at all times. And then a third deep breath. Hold it in. And as you breathe out, say to yourself, I am calm and relaxed at all times. And then just breathe normally again. This is my second favourite affirmation or suggestion of all time. What's my favourite? Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. This is from Emile Coué's marvellous book, Self-Mastery Through Conscious Autosuggestion, published in English way back in 1922. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. You really can't beat that one. It's like a global affirmation that covers all the positive bases. Conscious autosuggestion is what affirmations used to be called. Affirmations do not need to be overly specific to be effective. In fact, I'm convinced that overly specific or long lists of affirmations actually create a different, largely misunderstood problem, where they confuse your subconscious mind. But more on that in another episode. For the moment, I recommend that you use the above affirmations. Just test them out for a while and see how you go. Keep it simple. The downside of not practicing relaxing is that you keep pushing and pushing and then you end up tense and frustrated and exhausted all the time. And this means you are never truly performing at your best. You might think you are doing everything that you can, but you probably aren't as effective as you could be. And you still end up tense and exhausted at the end of the day. If you are calm and relaxed, you are more in control of the situation. If you are tense and uptight, someone or something else is in control. Just as taking a rest and walking for a few minutes every 2 hours when you're going on a long drive is a good way to actually survive the drive, it's a good idea to take a break from intense concentrated work about every 50 minutes or so. Just get up from your desk, get out of the chair, walk around the room, look out the window, walk around the office. If you've got the time, walk around the block or just go outside and take a few deep breaths. Just get up and move for a few minutes. You might just find that the answer to the problem you are working on pops into your mind because you relaxed. At the least, you'll be thinking a bit more clearly when you sit back down and get to do more work. Many people seem to think that it's a good idea to just keep pushing through, that they will get more done. It rarely works that way. The quality of work will deteriorate because of physical and mental fatigue. My main goal here is to give you simple techniques you can begin using today, like the ones we used earlier. These simple exercises will assist you to learn effective stress management. However, depending on your level of stress or anxiety, consider that it is often helpful to have a therapist to help you by guiding you through various techniques, to help you to deal with particularly difficult areas in your life. The exercises I've shown you today will work either way. In many ways, stress management is about starting simple strategies to assist you in learning about your mental and physical self. I hope you found this episode beneficial. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, click the like button so that you'll know when I release new videos. And if you have friends or family you think would benefit from these techniques, please share this channel with them. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'd love to make contact with you. And I look forward to seeing you again in my other videos. Have a wonderful day, and remember, don't get stressed about relaxing. Oh yeah, and remember to breathe.